I am having such a sleepy day. Oh my goodness. So I woke up hours ago and I made myself some coffee, made myself breakfast, and I just sat here and scrolled on TikTok for hours. I've just been so tired recently and I think my body just needed to catch up today. So we're gonna have a pretty lazy day and I am going to try and read a couple of shorter stories. I want to try and read a couple graphic novels and a picture book because that is one of the prompts that I pulled from my October TBRs, to read a picture book. And I figured I would just check in with the one single book that I've been reading in the past couple of days, and that is The Silent Waters by Brittany C. Cherry. And I will just say that I expected to really like this book, and at the very beginning I was really enjoying it, but then towards the end I just decided that it wasn't that great. So this one kind of spans over, I want to say 20-ish years, maybe even 30, but it's about a girl named Maggie who's 10 years old at the start and a boy named Brooks who I think is 11 years old at the start. And Maggie's like, we're gonna get married, we are going to be together forever, we're gonna have this perfect life, we're gonna have a bunch of kids and a cat and a dog. Like, she has her whole life planned out with this boy, and he's at the stage in his life where he's like, I don't like girls are gross. And he still goes along with it though, because Maggie is his best friend's younger sister. So they're just like these childhood kids, totally in love. And on the day of their rehearsal wedding at 10 years old, Maggie ends up seeing something that causes her a lot of trauma. She experiences something that causes her a lot of trauma, but I will say it's not sexual assault, but it causes her to become mute and also develop agoraphobia. So then the story kind of goes forward 10 years and then another 10 years later, where Brooks and her are best friends, but then they develop a little bit something more, and then there's just more that comes up in the relationship. But throughout it, Maggie remains mute, she remains agoraphobic, and does not leave her house this entire time. And for me, I kind of accepted her not leaving the house when she was 10 because she was terrified of the experience that happened to her. But then it doesn't ever talk about her getting help. It doesn't talk about her talking to therapists or anything like that. It just has her staying inside her house, only talking to the same people. And her parents are both very educated people and seem to be written as very loving, devoted parents, but she's not getting help. Even though she doesn't leave the house, like they didn't get any therapists to come in and try and help her out. And really, essentially, the way that she's cured of these problems, this trauma that she developed at 10 years old, is basically love. And I was so disappointed by that. I really thought that there could be so much in this one about seeking help, and just the fact that it's love heals all just was so disappointing to me. It had so much that I really did love, because the childhood friends to lovers were great. Brooks is a wonderful male character, and I felt like the family dynamic, even though it had its major flaws and there were some parts that I felt like the family was mildly toxic with the way that they spoke to each other here and there, it had so much good in it. It's just the mental health representation in this was not great. And I wish it would have been there, that she would have sought out help once she was 18 at a point, and she was starting to feel better and writing down all of these dreams that she wanted to do. And if it would have just had this one element of her asking her parents if she could start to talk to somebody to try and help her really work through it, I think that this could have been so much better. It just became very unbelievable that love is what caused her to move past her trauma. It's not a great message, I think, that people should be reading. But if you are able to put things like that aside, which clearly I was not, but I was also very tired and a little grumpy when I was reading, you might like it. But I did not, so I rated this about 3 stars. So that's enough of me rambling about this book. I am going to hopefully try and read Sheets, Seance, Tea Party, and Max and the Tagalong Moon. I feel like I can get these done throughout the day. It'll leave me time to play Sims if I feel like it, and it'll just let me relax and not like put on too much brain power. And if I feel like really reading, I think I'm going to try and read They Both Die at the End, or at least get that started so that I can finish that by tomorrow. But that is what I'm going to be doing today. I don't know how often I'll be checking in, so hopefully this will be a super short, quick vlog for you. I'm taking it easy today, and I'm not putting on makeup. It's just not gonna happen. I'm too tired. All right, I will let you know what I read. basically haven't moved from this spot for like 2 days. I think I'm just overtired and I've just needed a rest couple of days, like a rest weekend, even though it is technically Tuesday. But I only ended up finishing Sheets, which was actually super cute. The artwork in it is beautiful, but I will say that the story wasn't great. I don't think it really had a lot of depth to it. It's about a girl named, oh my gosh, Marjorie. So it's about a girl named Marjorie who is still in school, and her mom died earlier that year, and her dad is in a pretty deep depression, and she's kind of taking over the family laundromat. She is wearing herself thin. She's so exhausted. She's so sad, and it seems like the laundromat is starting to go under a little bit. And there's this man in the neighborhood who is really trying to get the laundromat from her and turn it into like some 5-star resort. And Marjorie really doesn't want to give up the laundromat, but they're kind of struggling for money. So it's mostly about her just being sad day to day, and eventually a little ghosty shows up and they become friends. So it's really cute, but I felt like the friendship between the ghost named Wendell and Marjorie just wasn't really developed very well, and I wish that there was a little bit more to them being friends in the laundromat, or like at least getting to know each other just slightly more than they did, because once they had a little bump in the road, it just didn't really make sense how they overcame that. But it was still really cute. I would say read this for the artwork. It is beautiful. I want to frame photos from this and put it around my room for fall because it's just that pretty. But that is actually all that I've read. I spent so much time playing Sims. I've just been building houses because that's all I want to do. And sometimes you just gotta let yourself do the things that you really want to do. I think it's just a way to decompress a little bit for me right now. But I was going to try and read Max and the Tagalong Moon, and I know that I can read this in probably 15 minutes, but I read the little synopsis of it on the inner flap, and I don't think I'm in an emotional state to read that at this moment. I am very sensitive the past couple of days. So I just think that reading a story about a boy who loves his grandpa so much, and his grandpa tells him that wherever he goes, the moon will always follow him and they'll always be looking at the same moon, it's not a story that I can emotionally handle right now. So we are going to pass on that, and I think that is all that I'm going to be reading for this week. I think that's just how it goes sometimes. You can't read too much. I've been mostly on track with everything else that I've been wanting to read, so I think I'll be okay for my TBR. I still want to read, and I am going to be reading A Court of Wings and Ruin this week. So I feel like that's what I've been waiting for. I just want to read that right now, and I had to wait and read some other things before. So now that I'm finally getting to read the third book, I think I'm gonna be picking up my reading speed a little bit more. I want to know how it ends. I want to know what happens. So that should be out on Friday if you want to see my reaction to that one. I will also link the first 2 reaction vlogs that I did. Are they vlogs? I guess more just me rambling about every thought that I have of ACOTAR and ACO Math. I think that's it for my super short reading update vlog type thing. I don't really know what this was, but I will see you for my ACO War vlog that is coming out on Friday. All right, bye.